Hi there. Today we are going to work on my most favorite prop, the Arc Barrel. This routine is going to be great for those that sit a lot, whether you're driving, you're sitting at a desk. Those positions have the hips in a flexed position, our chest hunched over. So we are going to work to reverse all of that. We are going to open and strengthen them as well as open and strengthen the back and chest. So hopefully you feel fantastic by the end of class. If you would like a 5-day Pilates series where you get an email every day with a new workout, it's a progressive series and it really helps to work your deep core muscles, as well as creating more flexibility in the body and finding the right posture and alignment for your body. If that sounds interesting, check out my 5-day Pilates course, and you can go to the link at balancetothecore.com. It's also in the description below. All right, so let's get started with class. So you want to sit nicely, and we're going to make our way back. So what you're going to do is you're going to just slide forward and then use your abdominals to help roll back until you get your upper mid back really anchored and your pelvis really anchored on the barrel. Okay, so you're going to take your hands to the sides of the barrel, pull your knees in, and we might have to play with your positioning a little bit as we work the legs. You might find you have to adjust, and I already feel like I might have to. So bend those knees into the chest. You have your heels together, toes are slightly apart in that kind of Pilates V position. All right, so now in this position, you want to feel like you're almost like your waistline and pelvis on that barrel, and sort of the mid upper back is on the floor. Maybe the mid back could be on the barrel a little bit. You'll find it once you start moving your legs, what works for you. But your chest is open and anchored. Your hands are holding the sides of the barrel so you can find that arm back connection. All right, your gaze is straight up to the sky. Click those heels together. All right, and what I want you to do is you're just going to inhale with gentle legs. They just reach upward at a diagonal, and you don't have to like squeeze the thighs together. This is just like reaching away a little bit so you can find the abdominal connection, right? And those ribs into the barrel. And that's going to maintain that kind of abdominal connection into the back. And I just want you to play with that. Every time the lever reaches away from you, those legs reach away from you, it's more abdominal power. So you got to kind of pull in that waistline and not let the ribs pop up. So I almost feel my ribs pulling in and downward as my chest stays anchored and open. Play with it. Inhale in, exhale, reach. And don't let those legs go low. This is all about just finding the connection in your torso. Couple more. Good, stay right here. All right, now we're gonna take the legs in the same position, and you're just gonna kind of let them lower a smidge, not much. It's all about just finding that abdominal connection and then bringing it back in. Inhale, the heels kind of reach down towards the floor, and you're gonna give me more rib connection, more abdominal connection, and pull back in. As you're pulling in, you're not just letting the weight of the legs pull you in. You're creating a deeper abdominal connection, and you're controlling the legs in. Chest stays open, shoulders stay back. 2 more. Good, and then just hug in. Take a breather here to relax those hip flexors. All right, and we're gonna bring our legs together, and we're gonna take it more towards a tabletop position, and you can let those legs separate just a tad. Relax your feet. Now we're gonna alternate our legs. You're gonna reach one leg long. As it reaches away from you, it's also going down towards the floor. So reach that thigh away and let it reach towards the floor. You are not changing your spine at all. And then switch sides. It reaches away, feel your tailbone long, but that belly's in. So just like you did in the other 2 exercises, you want to find that rib abdominal connection. So you're not arching the spine. The spine doesn't move every time I'm tapping. See how that happens? You've lost control there. What you want to do is maintain that connection of the ribs into the barrel as you reach the leg away and down, and then switch. So we want to find that connection of the abs and back with the hips. All works together, right? And you'll notice as those legs go down, the hip reaches away, you have some booty power going on to help open that hip with support. So now we're warming up like the whole power area, seat, hips, abs, back. One more each side. Good, and go ahead, just hug it in. All right, click the heels together again. And now we're gonna go straight up with the legs, straight up. All right, so we have that little Pilates stance, gentle feet or relaxed feet. And we're just feeling the hips wrap and squeeze. Now start to reach those legs away. The legs are reaching away like you're trying to touch the opposite wall. Stop at about 60 degrees, and I want you to try to reach the legs like someone's trying to pull them out of your sockets, pull away, and then pull the ribs in at the same time. Okay? Feel how much length you can get as well as strength. Hold the barrel, find your back muscles with your arm back connection. Find the ribs pulling into that barrel. Chest is open, legs are reaching, hips are wrapping. Yeah? All right, bring the legs back up. So again, we're only going like a few inches. We're not going all the way down yet. I just want you to find that spear, reach, connect here, chest open. And be careful when you open the chest, the ribs don't pop like I just did. What not to do, and bring it back up. All right, try a few more. Really connect with these. Make each one have that mind-body connection. Connect with it, and maybe then get a deeper reach. And then where do you have to fine tune? And we want to be careful. One area is not working harder than another. Can you make everything sort of work equally? Engage it as much as the other part of your body. So I just felt my hips working the most, and then it took away from my upper body and my hips started to burn. So try to really, maybe you have to get a little bit more seat, or have to feel the seat more. Seat doesn't like to turn on by itself. You got to mentally connect with that. All right, when you start to get it, maybe you go a little deeper. So now you've created the strength. Now your body can handle maybe a little bit lower, yeah? And notice you can easily go lower if we go down and up, right? That's momentum. But how different does it feel now that you've made these connections? Squeeze your hands into that barrel, find your arm back connection more, stretch it like a dart. And as those legs reach away and dart, you're anchoring the chest more and the back, and maybe you go a little deeper. And as you're going deeper, you're not letting your spine arc. You're keeping those ribs into that barrel. Stay for a beat and connect. Awesome job. This detailed work is going to feel in the end. You'll feel what it does. Hopefully you can release some tightness that's going on in those hips. Maybe you're strengthening them a bit too. This is strength and stretch together. Reach, and you got this oppositional energy, right? The chest and ribs are pulling down and inward as those legs reach away. Oh, how fun. Maybe go a little lower and up, and then just rest it for a second. Good job. All right. We got little circles to do. So you're going to push those legs out like we did in the beginning to that like 60 degree. All right, where you're not really efforting here, but you're engaged. Okay, and it's going to be small circles because I want you to really feel it in your center here. Okay, the legs go out a little bit, they come in and together. So let's make it so you can really hold the spine stable and connect with your center. And then we'll circle the other way. right? We're not releasing the hips up and down. We're keeping those hips where they are. Go ahead, give it a little hug in. Really good job. Okay, push out to that 60-degree again. And give me little beats where you're using the outer and inner hips. You're reaching those legs away. Good. And now stay, reach a little bit longer and engage and hold. And now beat. And stay, relax those feet, stretch those legs further away from your center, not from your limbs. You're not squeezing from the knees. You're reaching from that center as you lower the legs a little further down. 5 little beats. Hold, release, stretch, ribs in, chest open. Maybe we take it a little bit lower and beat it. And you bring it up a few inches, beat it. And up. Good, and up. Oh, yes. Those are doozies. And then hug it on in. Good job. All right. Taking your right foot, reach through your tail, find your seat, and bring that foot down towards the mat if you can. If it hovers, that's fine. All right. And we're going to bend this knee in. And then just feel yourself reach along through the tail. Good. Feel that opening. And then bring it in, other side, stretch it. Feel your tailbone reaching long. Good. And then we're going to kind of go into, like, you're going to pull this leg in and you're going to stretch it up, right? And we pull, stretch, reach. Pull, stretch, reach. Just a little mind over matter. But this leg reaches. Find that nice deep hip stretch. It feels so good. And then the opposite leg gets to reach through the hamstring. Try to keep your pelvis still, hips still, ribs in. 4, 3, 2, 1. And bend it in. Lovely. All right, so what you're going to do is you're just going to, we're pushing this out, okay, so that we can then just reach our, rest our legs over. And that should feel good. Yeah. Just hold here for a second. Let your legs just release out to whatever feels good for you. Should feel nice. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we're just going to take our feet here and we're going to roll up into a bridge and see how that feels. Now that we have a nice hip opening, stretch long through the tail. And that's just all the work that we've been doing. The same positioning. Now we don't have the support below us, but we're reaching through the tail. Our abs are engaged, our ribs are engaged, our chest is open, and our arms are long. Yeah? Roll it down through the spine. Pick it up, lift it right up. And then roll it down. We'll do one more. Pick it up, lift. And then roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Excellent job. All right, we're going to come up to a seated position and we're going to turn it around. And now we have the roller or the arc just in the position that we need to have it so that we can rest our shoulder blades over it, like just under our shoulders. So when you take it back, your head is resting on it, okay? And you should feel comfortable with your head just resting up or not straining anything. If you need a pad underneath your head, go ahead. But from here, I want you to just bend your legs. They have a little distance, and then you're going to take your arms up to the ceiling. They're resting on the top of the arc barrel. And again, your upper body is just sort of resting. Arc your spine one way and then tuck it the other way. All right. And I want you to find that middle space where you just have like this neutral pelvis and you can hold that rib connection. Okay. Reaching your arms upward towards the ceiling. We're going to do some arm circles. So I want you to reach the arm, they go up to the ceiling. Keep your shoulders connected with that arc barrel. And you're going to start to reach those arms back behind you. As they go back behind you, you keep your ribs pulled into your abs and your pelvis stays where it is. And then nice giant circle. And again, we lift and then you reach and you find length in your waist. You feel your ribs pulling into the arc barrel. And then we circle it around. Keep those shoulders wide and anchored. So give me 5 circles each direction. Feeling how that arm back connection helps you reach. And then we go the other way. So now your ribs do have to open up a little bit. If you just close them so much, right, your spine would be sort of flexed. Allow the ribs to open enough so you can keep your spine neutral. You're not flexing, right? You're not pulling so much in that you're flexing that pelvis back. Good. And then we just reach one arm down, one arm up. Oh, come to center. Try not to change the shape of the spine. You're working that shoulder stretch. We have so many shoulder issues from being flexed over our technology. So let's give it a good stretch. Once you've evened yourself out with about 5 to 6 on each side, you're going to reach both arms up and now both arms back behind you. Now notice when you go, you can easily lift and arc that spine. Try not to arc it. Stay in that neutral, so use that shoulder stretch. Reach it. Now stay reaching, and I want you to reach one leg and the other leg, and now squeeze those hips together. Find that neutral spine. So notice if you're arcing your pelvis, you got to reach through the tail a bit. And stretch, stretch, stretch. Okay, try that again. So we're trying to stretch the body like a rubber band, but notice all the areas you have to keep intact. The abs, the ribs, the arm back connection, the hip squeezing, heels anchored. One more time. Oh, now flex the feet, reach those arms up, and we'll lift our body up and over. Good. I'm going to scoot back a smidge. This time, let's see if we can take our body over that arc barrel. All right, so now I'm a little bit now, so my head is now on the other side of that arc, and I can give my arms a little bit more reach, and you have to let your ribs now open on this. You have to within that arc. And then we lift, but even though, pulse it out, even though the ribs are arcing, you can fan those arms out, reach back behind you. Even though they're arcing, I haven't let go of anything though. I'm still engaged in the center. 1, 2, 3, we bring it back. I fan those arms out. And up and over. 3, 2, 1. I'll do one more just for fun. Feels so good, doesn't it? And 3, 2, 1. We roll it up. Awesome job. Okay. So now I want to open the hips again, but now we're going to do it on our stomach with the arc barrel as a tool to help engage the glutes more, because the glutes are what helps support our hip opening as well, right? So I want you to go over, and we're going to make it so that our pelvis is right on the kind of apex of that arc. And then you're going to take your hands one on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. And you might have to adjust yourself a little bit as you do this, which is fine. Okay. So now let your legs sort of release for a second, and we want to make sure we're engaged in our low back. So if you reach long through your tail, you'll feel your low back lengthen and your belly engage. Okay. We want to keep that. And then all you're going to do is lift your right leg, and your right leg is reaching long as you lift it up, just like when we did on our back. You're reaching the leg away from you, trying to touch the opposite wall as you lift it up. Okay? At the same time, your tailbone's reaching long and your belly's pulling in. Do you feel that? And then keep lifting, reaching, reach it, lift it, and then only lift it to a place where you feel like, okay, I'm not searing into my low back, right? You're super controlled. And then bring it down. Okay, other side. You find that reach of the tail and get connected first. Hold, belly engaged. Now we reach, lift a little bit more. Reach, lift. And then reach, lift, really using the glute and hamstring and lower down. Okay, so we'll switch side to side. 3 little lifts. It's 3, deeper 2, deeper 1. And you make the adjustments where you need to. 3, 2, maybe pull up from the inner thigh so that leg's not turning out. Lift, lift, lift. 3, 2, 1. One more each side. Maybe you can make it more fluid. Good. All right. I might scoot forward just a smidge because I want to lift both legs now, and I can kind of tell my legs are a little too heavy. So get to a position where you can reach those legs, lift them up, and you're not too much into your low back. Okay. Reach through your tail, pick up your abdominals so you're in that nice long spine. And then let's click our heels together, click our hips together, and try to stretch those legs out. Try to lift a little higher, hold. And then we'll just beat the heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release. All right, want to try that again. We got to set it up by reaching long through the tail and then lift those legs and squeeze the heels together. Pull that belly in, pull long through the tail, squeeze those hips, and then just lift to that point where you're really working. And give me 5 squeezes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Release. All right, we got one more. Reach. Position. Shoulders down your back. Ribs in. Tail long. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And settle it down. Awesome job. Take your body back. And then you can rest like this if you want, where it's like you can feel it just release the low back. Actually feels really good. Or you can go back in a little shell stretch. Whatever. Find what works for your hands. And then just release. Kind of feels good to flex those hips now after opening them so much. Good. All right. How do you feel? So we worked at opening the chest, opening the hips. Hopefully you feel really good. Maybe give yourself a little walk around and see how it feels to walk around after this class where your glutes are engaged. You have that posture going on. And hopefully you relieve some tension from sitting all day. Come back to this as many times as you want. It's a great opener of all of those parts that we have in our modern day of living. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, if you want those 5 workouts, go below and hit the link and hit subscribe if you want to be part of this community. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time on the mat. Take care.